A surveyor has been asked by the county to determine the area of the piece of land. The surveyor recorded a diagram and his measurements as shown below. Based on the diagram, which measure is closest to the area to the nearest hundredth of a square foot of the piece of land that the surveyor reported to the county? And so this was probably the longest question as far as problem solving on the assessment. And you got this kind of strange composite shape. Almost looks three-dimensional, but it's not. And the three shapes that we want to look at, first off, there's a big rectangle right here that you actually have the measurements for. You have 65 and 6/10 and 32 and 8/10 right there. There is actually it's a trapezoid off the edge here, and you kind of have to turn the paper a little bit because you actually have your first base 1 right there. That's a B. Sorry, I'm trying to write upside down here. But base 1 is right there, base 2 is there, and then the height is this measurement, which is actually that measurement. And then finally there is of course, a triangle, a little skinny triangle off to the side over here. And it doesn't look like that has measurements, but it does. The 13 right over here is the same as the height, so that's actually 13 there. And then 65.6, that one right there, also is the length of the triangle. So we just need to solve for the area of each shape, add them together, and then go from there. And again, I think there's some places where you can use some number sense to at least eliminate some answers that might not be practical. So starting with the rectangle, you have 32.8, and you're going to multiply that by 65.6. So I said 32.8, multiply it by 65.6. And you should get, it's going to get in the high thousands here, but you should get 2,000, I think it's 2,151.68. And again, we're going to get close. We're going to reason the answer out. So that's the rectangle. Rectangle equals that. Next up, let's do the triangle. The triangle, the height is 13, and the base is 65.6. So we're going to do 65.6 and multiply it by 13 first off. So we'll do 65.6, multiply it by 13. When you do that, you'll get 852.8 or 0.80, but then you got to remember to divide by 2. So halving it gives you 426.4. So I'm going to wipe this out, and I'm going to put 426.40. So that's the triangle portion of it. Sounds good. Now we have this strange trapezoid. That's always the trickiest one. For a trapezoid, you need to add the two bases together. And make sure you looked at your formula chart. Some students were not doing that, and you had the formula chart. You have to utilize it. You add the bases together first, these two, which is 19, and you actually need the full of this, which is 32.8, and you kind of have to add the 13 to it. So it should be 45.8. Plus the 19 on the other side. And when you take 45.8, you add 19 to it. Look at my paper, I have this worked out here. 64.8 is what you get when you add them together. Now you just multiply them by half the height, and you get your answer. Well, the height is 26, and half of 26 is 13. So 64.8 times 13 should get you 842.4. So I'm going to wipe this out. 842.4, switch to blue. I said 842.4, didn't I? I think so. Alright, and then we're going to come in here and we add this all together. So 2,151.68, we add 426.4, and then we add 842.40, and you should get around, I know just ballparking this thing, you're going to get just over 3,000. The 4,000 answers, if we just use number sense, are too high. You're not going to get into 4,000. So you should get 3,420.48 or something pretty close to it. So using number sense and the practicality here, H and J were not practical. You could get down to G and F, but then just basic addition and solving it, the best answer is going to be F.